I moved strategically to protect us. That corporation is at the ministry, the farm. The deed of the farm is in the company's name. It's an S corporation. S corporation is a tight it's a tight corp, right? So we know it's very difficult to dismantle and to move around S corporation if you do not have shares. So what did I do as a safety net? 100,000 shares is what the way dynamic animal therapy encounters is comprised of or consists of. I own all 100,000 shares because guess what? Who did God call to do this? These hands, all right? It'll be 2 days later that I'll be standing in my yard feeding the animals, and I see all these police squad cars coming down my driveway at a more not like cruising. They were hauling down my driveway, and I knew I'm a black guy out here on my farm right here. I don't know these officers. I don't know them. They don't know me. But I discerned that there was already a call made because by the speed of those vehicles. I put down my buckets, feed buckets, whatever I had, put my hands straight up. These officers all start getting out of vehicles, walking towards me. I said, gentlemen, I said, hello, good. I believe it was the morning. I said, good morning. My name is Derrick Williamson. I'm the owner of this property and the CEO of the company that the deed is in, that the deed's name, that the name of the deed is in the company's name. I said, how can I help y'all today? These officers looked at me and they said, we received a call that there was a black man trespassing on property. I kind of laughed. I got to look down, look back up at them, and I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, that's definitely not the case." And I told him, I said, I live here. This is my home, and I'm the owner of this farm. These are all my animals and everything that's here." They said, "You have any documentation to prove or of any of this right here? Like, you have any documentation?" I said, "Of course. If you will let me go inside, I can definitely get you that documentation." And that will be the beginning of when it started with false reports that day. And the police obviously couldn't move me that day. So what did they do next? After the police could not move me and I couldn't leave my home. I have 116 animals. I have all these different animals on the property. I have everything from water buffaloes to sloths, all these animals. They don't know how to take care of these animals. I had to be there. And sure enough, they began to the first instant where I was removed from the home, they said two white women, all right, Janet and Claire Hardee, they alleged that I physically assaulted them. Lied, flat out lie, never touched anybody. As you guys see, if I was going to put my hands on somebody, it would have it could have happened, but I didn't because I knew that's what they wanted. And I knew that I could not go feed into that. You guys have seen the videos. They have put me through complex levels of sorrow, of anguish, of framing, and through the whole process. And one thing people can say a lot about me, right? But the one thing that you can't say is that I did not that I put my hands on somebody, that I caused harm to anybody, intentional harm, and none of that. You can't say that. I took everything. Kind of like a soldier in training, so to speak, right? But to those who ask, do you have your farm back? It's been years. Did you ever get your farm back? The answer to that question is no. I did not get my farm back. The Hardees were in my farm, were living on my farm. Even when their plane went down, they were still occupying my farm and living on my farm at that time. In this past October, I went home and it was like SWAT team officers came out with tactical vests on, things like that, and they took me out of my bed, took me out of my room. And then they told me that, if I did not get out of the house and leave, then I would be arrested. And they pulled cuffs out to arrest me at that moment because I said, I'm not leaving. This is my home. This is my home. It's my residence. My license has this on it. All my vehicles are registered here. The company is registered here. My deed is here. All of the bills on this property are in my company's name and my name. And I am the 100% shareholder. These people cannot produce not one document, not one nothing whatsoever. And so bottom line, those tactical officers, they proceeded to arrest me and at that point, and I could not. This is around about the same time of the year. October was the same month that that we went through when the videos were posted. My brother passed away around about that same time. It was, if I'm correct, it was that same week. So when the Hardee family came into my life, all right, Didn't we didn't just go I wasn't just at a grocery store and saw them and say hey, and then she's like, oh, here, I got all this money. Oh yeah, listen, I have a dream of a sanctuary. People think it worked like that, but it's not. um didn't go like that. We had a proven relationship over time. They were able to learn my character, the DNA of how I believe. They were able to see the results of how I perform. I'm the former vice president of a zoological facility of a lot of animals, whether it was wolves, alligators, camels. I have a very extensive background in wildlife, right? And they were able to watch this ministry. They were also volunteers. I used to be the director of one of the most prominent food banks in the region, serving thousands of families a month. And we grew a very, very familial unit. We were friends, and we were friends. We became closer, and that relationship built, but it built through labor. We built through understanding, and they understand my perspective of life. I move a little bit differently. My heart doesn't work the same as a lot of people's, and I get that. Hey, to each his own. But they saw it, and Janet saw that. So when this was presented to me, when the situation was brought to me, I believe everybody has a season. Everybody has a purpose, and in that purpose, Janet had a purpose to with the birth of this ministry. She had, Source had a plan for this ministry.